folks, welcome to e-commerce 360. Today we have Sean, founder and CEO of Coded Commerce, helping clients do more with their WooCommerce stores. Hey Sean, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me, Rev. Good to be here.
That's amazing. So the topic for today is final website prep to maximize BFCM sales. But before we jump into the topic, tell us a bit about yourself and Coded Commerce.
Yeah, so I've been really doing web development for 20 years now or so. But
Wow.
I would say e-commerce has really been a constant theme in that. And in more recent years, I've been focusing on WooCommerce, the open source leading shopping cart platform.
Mhm.
Although certainly there are commercial solutions out there and other open source solutions, WooCommerce is the leader in the open source e-commerce shopping cart space. So I'm excited to be working on that. It's a great community with a whole lot of technology to offer for a lot of it's free, actually.
That's great. That's amazing. So let's get started for the topic of today, which is BFCM 2021, which is going to be very different from the years before, especially BFCM 2020, because this is the time when people are coming out of COVID, and I think brick and mortar stores are trying to find an integrated solution between online and retail. So. What, from your perspective, how is this different from the rest of the years?
Well, I mean, from my perspective, I'm more on the technical side than the marketing side. So I see a sale as a traffic spike, and we can have those throughout the year, really. So from my standpoint, it's more getting the server ready, getting the site ready to handle traffic spikes, because in e-commerce, traffic spikes do take more server resources, processing orders, adding to cart, all that sort of thing. Integrations. A lot of my clients, they sync their orders to, other services, CRMs and, warehousing type applications, fulfillment and shipping and things like that. So with all that activity going on to scale that up, people aren't always prepared for that and they can be caught off guard. So we want to make sure that that we're ready so that when those orders do come in, they can be fulfilled on time, happy customers, more
Absolutely.
growth, etc.
Absolutely. So, talking about website, right? What do you think are the must-have website development from a development perspective on Black Friday to handle that sort of a load, which probably you will not had over a year now, like since BFCM 2020, they wouldn't have probably, gotten that sort of traffic. So, how do brands go about handling that kind of load to their website?
So they do have a variety of tests throughout the year. If you think about how people promote an e-commerce site, there is a lot of return business. There's retargeting ads, but there's a lot of email marketing, taking existing customers, sending them specials by email, getting them to return, offering points and rewards programs, discounts, referral commissions, all kinds of things people can do. But in addition to sort of the standard churn that you have in e-commerce to get people to return and buy and share with their friends, you also have the getting new people, which is going to be social media. It's going to be buying ads, things like that. And those campaigns do take place throughout the year. So you should be accruing data for your site so that what you did, how effective it was, how much traffic did you get, how did the server handle it, are we monitoring the server, do we know what people's experiences are, from a user experience standpoint, but also from a performance standpoint. That really is capturing that data so that when you are going to have a bigger event that you're expecting, you have some data to kind of back it up. Because WooCommerce sites, as open source, you can develop them as you wish. You can host them as you wish. You could run the modules that you wish. We call plugins. With that wide range of how a store could be set up, the performance could be super great, top tier, or it could be really horrible, or anything in between.
So
Yeah.
when you talk about these performances varying degrees. How do stores go about knowing how to optimize their website for the best during Black Friday? If you know any lesser known strategies, the strategies that they did not come across often in blogs or general marketers probably are not aware of. If you can throw us some light into those lesser known strategies, it'll be great.
Sure. Yeah. If you take computer programming classes, usually the first class we call it Development 101. They talk about keep it simple. KISS is the principle. It's known around the world. It's old school. It's been taught to computer people for all time, it seems, and that really is applicable to e-commerce. There is a tendency to overbuild. There is a tendency to leave things running that you're not really using completely. So it's really important to pare the site down to what it absolutely needs to be, and not be doing a bunch of extra stuff that you don't actually need. Every client is unique in that, what their business rules are. There's things you can do to optimize, like, for example, if the client is running Google Analytics and Pinterest and Facebook and all these pixels that are running on their site, you can consolidate those down to Google Tag Manager as a common data layer for all of those. So there are some things you could do to optimize yet still run all of those things. But I can't tell you how many times, I'll ask a client, are you still using this Facebook plugin? I noticed it's doing something weird in the database. I can write up a ticket with them, blah, blah, blah. But are you guys actually using it? Oh, no, we stopped using that 6 months ago. Well, why didn't you turn the plugin off then? Because it's doing things to your data. It's making the websites send out data to Facebook, and if you're using it, you may need it. But if you're not using it actively, it might be a good time to turn that off.
Absolutely, that's a great advice. So before we wrap the show up, what would be your one piece of advice to all these e-commerce marketers who are trying so hard to get BFCM 21 sales off the ground?
Yeah. So other than what I mentioned about KISS, keep it short and sweet, or keep it simple, stupid was the original one. But other than that, I would say hosting. Because WooCommerce sites, we're hosting them ourselves. We really do need to have good servers that can handle the traffic. So you should, if you're running a serious e-commerce store, you're probably paying $50 a month or so in hosting. It's not the cheap stuff. Some people are paying hundreds or even thousands on larger sites. So that's a big deal. But as far as the marketing end of it goes, because I think your question relates to that as well, email marketing is still king. And, it's a challenge with any kind of marketing, whether it's email marketing or texting. It's a challenge to not bug people and lose them, but still use that very low cost technology to bring them back. So there's a creative process there. I wish there was a magic formula, but there really isn't. It's a challenge for every business.
Absolutely, well put. Thank you so much, Sean, for coming on our show and giving us some really in-depth tech insights. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you.